Yo, hold on here. I'm gonna slide this over to the thingy, and then the thingy, and then turn on the thingy. Good morning. So I was doing some majoring last night. I'm happy with myself. So I did a lot of not a lot, but I did the boning. So I kind of boned it a little, giving it a look of bone by kind of giving it a sanded look, like you roughed it, but I didn't. I just did a lot of dry brushing on it. Let me see. Yeah, let me get it to a good position for you. Too much light. Where's the best? The best part of waking up is painting Majora's Mask. Okay, so you can see it for the most part. I know it's a little bit odd. I'm gonna get some better cameras and everything coming up soon. That's my goal. So as of now, get a good hook on this. There. How about this? Let's not turn this. Let's turn this. The easier thing to turn. So as of now, what I was doing yesterday was I was adding difference in color to this side here. I was kind of just laying the tracks and making sure I don't have to backtrack too far to get back to this side over here. But this side over here has a kind of a multi-stage layering. So you can see on this side it's a lot less of a color tone shift. So now what I'm going to do, since this is so light right now on this side, is I'm going to probably pull some of the color now from the top of the mask, the purple color, into this a little bit and wash it down into a purple to brown. So that's going to be and it's going to happen probably within a half inch too. I'm not going to do, it's going to be a tight color change, but it's going to shift the colors between light and dark in a way, I'm hoping. And that's what, and then I like to just stick to one side, because once I do get it, it's like I said, I want to make my second try faster. So that way I know my third try will be even faster. So that way when I'm industrializing it in my head, I can see what the process is. Layer this, layer this, layer this, go. Layer this, layer this, layer this, go. Layer this, layer this, layer this, go. So that way when I have 10 masks sitting in front of me and I'm getting ready to go, most of this will be done with airbrush, but the final stages are still what I just said. You're still going to drop a dry brush on there in certain areas to create that look that you're going for. You're still going to apply those last little things to make it kick. There are times and reasons why you wouldn't, but for the most part, I'm going to say if you're going cosplay, you're going to go for the full shebang, but there are the moments when you want it to have that like fresh brand new. Go to the toy store, you buy that new toy mask. It's new, it doesn't have weathering on it, so the kids weather it themselves. And that's kind of the thing. Sometimes you want that fresh new look. And that fresh new crisp look, is one that comes with tight lines, no weathering. Like I said, for cosplay, it just doesn't work, because cosplay, usually the reason why you're doing cosplay is to play a character that has a pre-existing life. And that life comes with a tail, and that tail usually has roughed up said equipment, wardrobe. It's rare that someone's wearing something fresh. So with that, the weathering is one of the most important things to give that the full look. Now with that, there are certain things that I'm gonna say anyone can do, and then there are certain things that I'm gonna say you may want to send off to an individual like myself or others of of the cosplay caliber that can maybe give that last little bit. But you can do that. All you gotta do is just, if you made something that you really like, all you gotta do is look around. You'll be surprised how many people will finish up your stuff for you, which is what most people don't think about to do, is to just wrap it up in a box, send it off to somebody, and have them really finish up for. And usually, it's touch-up stuff, so they won't charge you $1,000,000 for it. As a matter of fact, they probably won't charge that much at all. Probably mostly the shipping costs that you're paying for, because weathering takes only 2, 3, 4 hours of just playing with it over and over again and really torquing it, maybe even getting a little bit of sandpaper and scuffing some stuff. But other than that, you really don't need to think of it as being like a lot of hours. So with that, I'm going to start wrapping up Majora's Mask series on this right now, because I want to move to other things. I'm going to start, I think, finishing up this turkey right here. It's been sitting there bugging me. So this dude here is just something that I'm finishing. I know people are probably going to look at it and say, what am I seeing in the first place? But this thing here is just a thing. A thing. I do boards about like this. So what I do is I take the board, and what you're going to be watching on this one here is, since this is just about done, I don't need to do too much more to it. I'm going to do a little bit more around the eyes, just to finish up a little bit of detailing around the eyes, but the octopus looks great. The little suckers and tentacles look great. I may give it a little bit, I love playing with shape. And the shape that an octopus's tentacle makes is so unique in the way that the curves. I'm a huge fan of curves, which is why I love fingers and hands. I used to fear fingers and hands and drawing them and making them and doing stuff like that. But I will start showing people quick tips and tricks to making hands and sculpting things a lot faster and easier. A lot of people fear certain things. They tend to skip them. I will dive into those things for you. And if anyone has any questions about anything they want to see sculpted, made, drawn, bada boom, please let me know. Write something in the little doohickey thingy, the commenty thingy, the chat thingy, so that way we can start kind of getting things going. Anything else you guys need to see? Anything else, for me? I mean, I'm gonna be ramping these up to where I'm gonna be, during the course of the day, having little 10-minute, 5-minute sequences. I'm gonna see how short I want to tuck them down to. I'm actually gonna, figure them out a little bit, script them a little bit. I really kind of do things off the cuff. I've never really needed too much. I'm the dude that can walk up straight in the middle of a whole group of people and do a speech without having to have a script, and it usually comes out pretty genuine and pretty real. Because I'm usually doing it straight from the cuff. So when it comes to stuff like this, I tend to do the same thing, which is I probably should script them a little bit more. I'm going to set up a couple things around here so I can keep myself moving on a path, because I can jabber off into the universe. If anyone follows any of my previous stuff, you get to be a part of some fun conversations. But I do have a couple people who want to jump on with me and conversate as well, which is going to be pretty cool. So please join up. Bring some friends in. It would be neat to have more people on this. I know I'm not going to bring anybody in if I don't have anybody here. But when I start to get some people here, I mean, I don't even need a ton of people. I just want to have some on the board that are watching during the course of the live shows, so that way when I bring people in, we can have comments going off and we can actually have some stuff going down. Thank you for everybody who has watched. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. This is just me having fun right now. If it becomes something, it does. I don't care. I really don't. I got so much art to do, it's insane. The only reason why it would be nice to have it would be to be able to do more of the stuff I like to do more often, if people like to see what I do more often. And what I've been doing more often lately has been comic book art. I've been getting into it. I'm flat out in love with it. Trust me, you guys are going to be a part of the journey. I'm going to do quick tips and tricks for some comic book stuff on Photoshop that's going to really boom. And when I say Photoshop, I apologize. I should really clarify that. It is not Photoshop. I am using GIMP software. Photoshop is a software program, not an actual iconic symbol. And we need to clarify that for the reasons of when things get too big, they lose their literal name. And Photoshop needs to keep their name. So we need to clarify that they are a software. So I'm running on GIMP, which is like Photoshop. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true, and they deserve their spot, and they are a dominating force in the industry. Doesn't make them a full-on icon to put Photoshop in the dictionary as meaning something very specific. It needs to be set as the title itself, and that's kind of an issue. I know that sounds crazy, but if you don't acknowledge that there is a separation between the real large overseeing scale of the name versus the actual brand that they are. They are a software program. But I am being kind because it's true. So I'm gonna head out right now. Oh, sorry, I was gonna bring this up here. So I've been busting on my my comic lately, and I'm busting on. I'm working on a few other people's comics. This is what I do. I have a couple comics on the line, which is my main hobby, unfortunately, but it is side jobs that I do. And it's mostly, just graphic art is what I've been doing lately. So that's my standard operating day, is getting stuff done in that nature. So if anyone needs anything, hit up my website, and go ahead and ask me what you need. I'm pretty sure I can do it. If you look around my site, I have a whole bunch of stuff coming up. I am changing more and more on my website to add more and more photos and stuff to actually showcase what I can do, because I do have a very large scale underneath Dan's Artland, which I do bring in other artists who join me often to get larger projects done. So I'll always use the reference of we whenever I'm talking about Dan's Artland. Although most of the stuff in there is my own, mostly mine. I mean, I'm going to say probably almost all mine, other than a few things that I did with a few other people. I do want to say that I have my merch stores getting more and more items to it. If people want to see more, ask for more. I haven't had anything go off that much or at all for me to go on to any more stuff, which I want to do. So I would just show me what you want. Ask a little bit, please, because I want to fulfill the artistic. I've done so much stuff and I've given away so many things throughout my years that I wish I could have kept that weren't mine because I sold them to people. But with that, I'm going to get some stuff that is dedicated to me now, which I have never really done, and I'm going to make sure it's out on the merch store. My original art will be sold on my website, and then I will send off a lot of my stuff to merch stores to make my products, posters and t-shirts and stuff like that. But if people like the thing, they come back to my store and they can buy the original. Yeah, it's going to be a little pricey. That's the way it goes. If people like it, it's going to be pricier. I'm going to hold the originals for a while. It's just the way it's going to be. But they are going to be out there on auction. So if people want to start buying on auction, which is going to be on a long scale, so I can, the price of it should be driven by if it's okay, if it's good or not, and that's just the way it goes. But if you like the actual image, I'm going to have other ways to procure it for people who enjoy it. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it right now. And I'm not just doing things for sale. So that's the thing about it, is I'm actually doing this because this is what I triple love to do. My comic book is going to be one of the things that I'm going to really drive a force toward. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. If I don't shut up, it's going to go forever. Woo! Okay, all. Thank you for coming. Get a little loud at the end there, right? So, I'm going to hit this up with a ending of the day. It's another day. Come another day to join the way. Thank you all. Have a good day.